So, you're writing a song in 2022, a time where it's never been easier to write music and put it out all on your own, and also a time where more people have been doing it than ever before. In fact, if you wanted to, you could probably write a whole song in a day, record it in a day, and have it out to the world by that night. But you've probably heard a song that sounds like they did that, and you can tell. And your music definitely doesn't want to fall into that camp. You could also be on the other side of things, where maybe you've been working on the same 8-bar, 16, 32-bar loop for so long, you're feverish with demo-itis, and you have really no idea when this song is going to be done. It just needs one more thing. Your music is way too important to leave this up to chance, so how do we know when a song is ready for the recording studio? Hey, by the way, my name is Ryan, and I'm a producer and instructor here at Zalo Audio, and I help people make massive music. And I put together 9 questions that all of us artists should ask ourselves before we dare put a single dollar down on our recording deposit. Question number 1, do you know it? Now, this question probably seems a little patronizing, a little obvious. You might know how to play your part, but you may not know really what's going on objectively in the rest of the song. So understand, how long is the bridge section, what's going on with the drums, be able to explain this objectively. Hey, 16 bars of this, etc., etc. Make it nice and clear, easy to understand, So, question number 2, can you play it? Now, the minimum requirement for this for me is being able to perform it in some capacity. So maybe just a voice note on your phone or something like that. So there is an ability to hear the entire idea as it is, but you also don't want to be learning to play your song to the metronome in the high stakes pressure zone of a recording studio. Trust me, that's just frustrating for all parties involved, and you definitely want to skip that. Number 3, it's a little bit more obscure, but hear me out on this. Can you feel it? So this is more about understanding what the mood of your song is and what you want it to be to the listener, and also what you don't want it to be. You don't want it to be a situation where you're writing a song and somebody listens to it and says, wow, this gives me major Adele vibes, and you weren't going for Adele. So this is, really having a clear vision on what you do want out of the song and what you don't want. Question number 4, can you explain it? Now, not every song has a meaning or lyrics or anything like that, but if there is a meaning or some type of symbolism behind what you put together, you should be able to explain it clearly. Definitely make sure that the parts of the song that have, relation to what you're trying to convey with the song, they match in terms of energy and emotion. So, you have a clear idea of what the song is about. So, you could probably explain it in maybe 3 sentences or less. Question number 5, can you play that? No, we're not talking about the song anymore and your ability as a musician. We're mainly talking about your instrument. So this goes for putting on new strings, making sure your instrument is set up, putting on new heads on your drums, but also making sure that you're prepared to spend, maybe 4 to 8 hours just playing music. So making sure that you have the endurance. If you're a drummer, you can't put it all in the first take and then, lose wind, on the 6th or the 7th. As a vocalist, you can't, smoke 30 cigarettes or whatever and then expect to walk into the vocal booth and have a clean, smooth voice ready to go. Really make sure that your instrument is in working condition and ready for you to just totally tear it up in the recording studio. Question number 6. This one happens to be my favorite. I actually like to call this one the cringe test. So if your song has lyrics, what I want you to do is go ahead and print them out, and if you're by yourself, you can go ahead and stand in front of the mirror and do this, or film yourself and then watch the video. But you can also do this in front of your band or group if that's what you're working with. Just read your lyrics in a monotone voice without trying to make anyone laugh, and judge their reactions honestly. Because if there's going to be something that's going to come up in your circle, it's definitely going to come out in the comment section online of whatever song you're working on. Question number 7, have you changed it? So this one's a big one for me. I don't necessarily say that everyone's first idea is the worst idea, but I definitely feel like all ideas need to be tested with other ideas. So if you haven't tried a different guitar solo or maybe a different vocal melody, at least make sure that the idea that you have is definitely the one to go with. Question number 8 is, can you compare it? So this has more to do with how your listeners are going to engage with this, right? So put together a playlist of songs that you think are similar. Maybe they inspired them directly. Maybe they have a production style that is close to what you want the final version of the song to have, because a producer will be able to take a lot of that information. Oh, if they use this guitar amp or these types of drums or whatever, it can be used to help you get that much closer to the sound that you're going for without necessarily having to trial and error. And question 8 actually led me right into the last question, which is, can someone help you? Now, these days, you're right. It's very possible to have all the tools to be able to do everything yourself. But if you don't know how to use them very well, you're going to be spending more time learning how to use them and less time actually making music. Trust me, I've been in a situation before where me being so close to my own music prevented me from actually executing and getting it done. And it's something that all of us, are prone to. And the best songwriters in the world actively work with other songwriters to help prevent them getting stuck in a rut of their own mindset. So if you're in a situation where you've been working on something for so long, sometimes a fresh ear with somebody that's never heard it before can come in there and figure out all the ideas that you've been stuck on for maybe even years. So I want every one of you to enter the recording studio feeling like badasses and leaving it sounding like badasses. So I have made a printable checklist that you can grab at my website of this video. You can print out per each song. Just kind of go through the line by line and make sure that you're going to have a killer recording session. You can find that PDF at zaloaudio.com. Thanks for hanging out with me today.